Hi, friends and golfers. This may be hard for some of you to take, but this video is going to be all about why amateur golfers, for the most part, suck. I'm Eric Shore with EJSGolf. So it may sound a little bit harsh, right? But let's think about it. What handicaps are and what percent are in each group. So I can give you a bunch of different facts, but I'll give you one right here. We know that most golfers, after about 3 years, don't improve handicaps at all. And I want you to judge yourself or look at others in their handicap. You'll notice people don't change. Somebody who's a 15, maybe a 12 or 13, but they'll be a 17 later on or 15. They just stay there. They don't go from 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Does that happen? Yeah. A lot of golfers that I teach do that. But for the most part, the general rule is no, they don't. Okay. And we know that with distance, that the average distance for the amateur is really low. So we just know statistically that most amateur golfers pretty much suck. And if you ask them, they would say the same thing. They're not happy with their game, okay, with what they're doing. I don't mean it negative when I say that. It's mostly taking the term from what a golfer would say themselves about their game. They feel like they suck. So why is that? It's like you're practicing. We have this little white ball here to hit. Like, should somebody who practices and plays like shoot 90, 85? And for an athletic person, I don't think so at all. I think they should be way better. Now, there's certain things that come into play. If you, don't get to practice often, your chipping may struggle, putting may struggle, but you're not going to classify if you strike the ball well as yourself sucking, right? It's the striking of the ball, which is really where the terminology comes in, because the ball, let's say, is slicing out of control, fat shots, thin, top, whatever it is. That's what I mean when I say suck at golf, because that person's unhappy, okay? So I call it, for any student comes to me, is I want to turn them into a ball striking machine. And what does that mean? It just means that they hit the golf ball, then the turf. That's it, okay? So it means every time I swing, I'm landing in front of the golf ball, okay? It's not one time back here, one time up here, one time I get so far back here, I top it when I come up. No, every time it's ball, then turf. Is that hard to do? For me, no. I mean, for me, no. But for golfers that come see me, no. They learn to do it. Because why? It's the number one thing I have them work on. I tell them, this is what you judge yourself on right here. We can move past this to other stuff once that's been perfected, okay? Once you can hit the ball first and then turf every time, then we get to work on some even better stuff to make you an even better golfer. But the point is this, golfers that do that, they have fun and they don't say they suck at golf, okay? So here's what happens. They don't get to practice much, so they don't know that their 7-iron goes a certain distance, so they're striking it well and it may be a little 5 yards off, or, it could be a little right or left. That's club face issues. So, to me, it's like golfers are usually happy as long as they're striking it well. And that doesn't mean it's not going to go right or left. No, your distance may be a little bit off, but you're going to find out though, golfers that hit the ball first always, they know their distances because they're always compressing it the same amount. So what happens then, most golfers you look at, they have this dispersion, this big circle. So they miss it short, mostly short, long, left and right. The better you get, you remove the long and short, and you're just left and right because you were dealing with club face issues, which is the hardest component. I believe everybody can do this part, and that's why I stress it. The problem is it's not stressed enough, and golfers themselves don't think about it as much. I had a student come in the other day, and I asked them, about they were on a trip, and I asked them to play, and they were talking to me and telling me their story, and they said everything went wrong with when I was playing. I'm like, what do you mean everything? Well, tell me about it. And finally, when we got down to it about what was going on, it was ball striking issues, and so I asked, what they were doing to fix it. They started talking about their hips and their shoulders. I said, you were hitting fat shots. You also were topping them. And your whole thought was you got to get this hit cleared out of the way. And I go, well, how does that make sense, right? You're on the golf course. You don't know for sure if you were even doing that. And even if you were, how does that affect 100% of what you're doing up here? The problem that person was having, they weren't asking the right question about what was wrong with what was happening. If our number one goal is to strike the ball first and then the turf, do you think I would, and I hit it fat, do you think like back here, would I go, oh man, I didn't get my hip cleared out of the way? No, I would have the intention of telling myself, I got to get up here no matter what. So it's like, I'm going to grab a tee here to show you guys something. I've done a ton of different drills on this stuff, but believe me, you will be a happy golfer if you learn to do this. But what does it take to learn to do it? It just means it has to be your priority. It has to be number one, and we have to understand the benefits that come with it, okay? It's a real simple way, and there's a lot of drills I've done that show this. bunch of different ways, but I'll put a tee in front. There's other ways to do it too. The reason this is done though is just it's to change your perspective of trying to hit the golf ball to something else. Okay. The problem with golf, and this is what's funny, people make fun of golf a lot because they say it's stupid. The little white ball sitting there and you got to hit it. They're like, that's dumb. And I'm like, well, that's what makes it so hard because it's just sitting there and we don't get to react. Like a baseball coming, I get to, well, there it comes, then I react. Okay. Here, sitting here, I'm thinking, I got all these things going on. So what do most people do? They get this thing, what it's called, I call it hit impulse. Some people call it other stuff. It means the ball's sitting right here. And what does the brain do? It goes, I got to hit this ball. So everything in their swing is going from here to basically right here to hitting that ball right there. Can that work at times? Yeah, you're never going to be efficient because there's a lot of times you're going to hit it fat. You're not going to have a consistent low point, but it can work at times. A lot of things can work, but they aren't consistent. Okay. You're going to hit some longer, some shorter that way. Our focus needs to change to more of that swing thought, but that's a hard concept. The easier concept is if I put something in front, telling myself that is my target, not the golf ball. Another way to practice, I'm going to show you this one too. Okay. So I'm set up, let's say right here is where it'd normally be. Okay, notice I didn't move my stance. Okay. At all. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to treat this. Everything's going to stay the same. I see this ball in the corner of my eye. I'm going to get up here. Well, I mean, no problem getting into it. And you know what's really funny about that one is I do that to people that hit fat all the time. And I put that ball way forward and they look at me like they go, you want me to hit that? Like I'm nuts. And they hit it. It's a great conversation after that because I'm going, how can you hit every shot fat? And I put that ball way up there and you get to it, no problem. So they start to understand then it's a lot of what's going on here. And that's what the problem is with most amateurs in golf. It's what is going on in their brain. They don't have the right picture of what they're trying to do. They've heard so many fallacies, so many old wives' tales. Like, the one I had another one today came in that was swinging like this. Because why? Because he's topping the ball, that he's picking his head up and looking. So he has a swing that goes like this. No rotation, no turn, head stays down. It's funny. I asked him, I go, so you did that, right? And I go, did you still top it? He goes, yeah. I go, okay. So it's always funny. I showed him the video after. I said, you know what? I've never seen anybody in 30 years do what everybody says happens. Nobody does that. It makes no sense to ever go. Nobody would ever do it. And two of the best golfers of all time were staring this way at impact. Okay. So get that one on your mind. But here's the problem. If that's your picture in your mind, and once again, it's all about hit impulse down to here, right? We're going to be focused right there on the strike, not a golf swing. Okay. So I gave you one where we put the ball more forward to think about it. You can also tell yourself, hey, I'm going to focus when I swing on getting a beautiful finish. Like I used to picture Freddie Couples because I thought he just had this great finish. That's another swing thought. Everything is in forward of the ball instead of at the ball. Okay. Those are freeing thoughts that help people that struggle with this. But number one, okay, we have to change our concept of golf and our goal to becoming a ball striking machine, meaning you hit the ball first every time and then you hit the turf. It can be done. Anybody can do it. So there's a lot of things that have to come into play to make that happen that you're going to figure out. Some you'll figure out on your own. Some may have to help you with. One thing you'll find out is you cannot do this like most people do. Try to hit it from here. Because think about this. Let's watch this here. If I'm right here, I see this come to me every day in lessons. I'm here and this is where they are at the top. So way back on my right foot, way back here, right? They feel powerful. I go, how are you going to get from here? And let's say I talk about impact being right here because we had hit the ball and the lowest point is up here, right? So if this is impact, we hit the ball and we end up here, which is what it should look like. How am I going to get from here to this position? I'm never going to do it. I'm going to go something like this. There's no way I can get up to that spot. I'm not going to slide up that much. I can't do it. So I need to have a pivot that I turn more over the ball so I'm able to come down on it like that, okay? Probably figure that one on your own because you won't be able to hit the tee. But if you can't, then that's going to help you, okay? I have a mirror that I'm always looking into right here. I can look at it and go, okay, I'm going to work a little bit on my turn. Notice I turn right over it. There's no this, okay? And if you notice like my leg, I'm more loaded into the left side, just like if I was throwing, I would be here. Right? It's much more athletic. Okay. So make that your goal, folks, and it's going to change your life. Like I just can't tell you over 30 years with students I have how happy they are with their golf game. Now, here's the thing about it is, so their scoring, let's just say, they're going to get better. The scoring's going to get better because they hit it way better. Do they all become scratch with it? No, because not every one of them has time to become scratch. If I don't get to practice my chipping or putting, then I'm not going to shoot under par. Like it's just not going to happen. So, but you can become really good and you can go out and I don't care if my golfers don't play for 3 months and go, they're still going to hit the ball first and then the ground. because it's been drilled into them and they understand that is the number one goal of what we're trying to do. So if you make that your goal, instead of going, when you hit a fat shot, go, I guess I didn't turn my hips enough, or my left arm wasn't straight, instead of going, why did the ball do what it did? Well, it barely went anywhere because you landed here. What should be the fix? I got to land the club up here, right? So I need to figure that out. Can't figure it out, then you need to get help. Call me. I'll help you. We can do something online, Skillist, if you're in Scottsdale, we'll do a lesson in person and figure it out, okay? I know I started this with kind of the negativity thing of saying suck, golfers suck, amateurs suck, but I hope I turned it around into something positive and you feel that, this is something that you can do, okay? I have tons of different drills on this that you can find on my YouTube channel. You can find some on Instagram, but you'll notice if you start with my stuff, everything pretty much focuses around impact, because it's what matters, right? Impact is what matters, okay? Then take that the next step after this and learn how to understand why the ball curves where it does. Then you're taking your whole game to a whole next level. Thank you for watching. Eric Stolberg, EJS Golf, and the Science of Better Golf.